Alright, so we're going to talk about the Whole Foods plant-based diet. So this is like the diet from that movie, Forks Over Knives. That's what it's called. I couldn't remember. But basically Whole Foods, those are like unprocessed foods that come from the earth. That's kind of like the foundation of the diet, is they want to eat things that just are natural, that come out of the ground. And um, and there are some like butters that come from nuts and tofu that are kind of like minimally processed foods that are allowed in the diet. So some people eat those, and those are allowed in the Whole Foods diet. But there's five categories of foods in the Whole Foods plant-based diet. So there's whole grains, legumes, fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and spices. So whole grains, that would be like brown rice, oats, quinoa, pita bread would count in that category. You want to avoid things like white bread, as it's like extra processed. And then there's legumes, fruits and vegetables. We know what those are. Legumes are mostly like beans. Tofu would be an example of actually a legume. It's kind of like a minimally processed legume. And then nuts and seeds and spices. I mean, that's like salt and pepper. So those are the five categories. Those are the only things you're allowed to eat in the diet. Really difficult for a lot of people starting it because they like the taste of food that gives you a lot of dopamine, and that's not something that this diet is going to do. Like, eating is not going to be as fun if you do this diet. People who are really active, so people who exercise like every day, it's recommended that most of your caloric intake should come from whole grains. That should be the main category of foods that you eat from. A lot of people, when they start the diet, they don't really read into it, and they don't read about all the different types of grains that you can eat. And so they just eat a lot of green food. They just eat a lot of lettuce and kale. And that can be really bad if you're very active, because you're not really getting enough fiber. You're not getting enough energy basically throughout the day. So you're going to be very, very deprived. The one supplement that you want to use with this diet is B12. That's because B12 comes actually from the soil. And so that's why most of our B12 comes from animals, because when you buy fruits and vegetables, you're not getting them out of the ground, and so you lose that nutrient. So it's recommended that you take a supplement for B12. That's really it though. Other than that, you basically can eat whatever you want. That's the point of the diet. As long as you eat with, stick with these five foods and don't eat anything processed, you can essentially eat whatever amount that you want. So some of the benefits of the diet: low blood pressure. This comes from a lot of potassium, which you'll find in a lot of the whole grains, and low cholesterol. That is another one. And essentially, because you're eating so many plants in this diet, I mean, that's the foundation of the diet. There's no cholesterol that you're going to get from those at all. Low blood sugar, which comes from fiber, and low rates of cancer. There's a lot of cancer that we know comes from trans fats. You're not going to get that if you're on this diet. And just weight loss. People lose a lot of weight on the diet. That's not a good reason. I think most people say that this diet is more of a lifestyle diet. It's not something you do temporarily for a week or a couple weeks. I'm sure that would be great to do. But people who say you do this diet say you make a gradual change. So you just start incorporating more of these, and then you just slowly push away meat, and then push away a lot of the processed sweets or whatever you're addicted to. And yeah, another benefit is you just basically can enjoy other areas of life. So food is not the main source of pleasure like it is for a lot of people, and it can actually help. It can help your dopamine receptors, so you get more pleasure and joy in other areas of life. So there's a lot of things that you can get from this. That's the whole food plant-based diet. I'm not on it. I can't do it. So I would never do that to myself. I like enjoying food. But thank you. Hope that works. Any questions you have, go for it. Thank you.